All right, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. We are super excited. We have a very special guest with us who is just making some big ripples inside of our industry and serving people in a really big way. So, with us today, we have Rebecca Harrison from Storm Salon Social. Welcome, Rebecca. We're excited to have you here.
Thank you, Lindsay and Jen. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, definitely. So, um, Rebecca, you help salon owners, people in the beauty business with their social media. So really, you just help them. You take it from point A to point amazing, and what looks like no effort at all for you. I'm sure it takes a lot of work behind the scenes, but just looking at some of the Instagrams that you have helped people transform, it's just really inspiring. And we're excited to have you on today to kind of talk about what is it that makes you stand out in social media, and how it is that you're helping salon owners really just do amazing in this field that not everybody loves to manage on their own.
Yeah, and that's it, just it, Lindsay. A lot of times it's really just about taking that burden of social media off of a salon owner's shoulders. I know, with everything else they have to do with running a business and running a salon, being there in person is most important to them, being there for their guests and their team and all the other business side of the industry that they have to do. So I would say that the biggest thing that I do is take that burden off their shoulders and give them the peace of mind to know that their brand is being represented online in the best light possible. My goal is always to just really elevate a brand and really showcase what's there with the team, with the culture, really so people, when they come, they can get an idea. A lot of times, clients are referred by other team members or other clients, but they do check their social media. So even if they didn't find out about them through social media, a lot of times they go and check it out. And so it can be, a reason that they say yes to coming to the salon, or it can be, their confirmation that they don't come in. And so it gives that sense of, assurance that they are at the right place and that that what they see on the social media fits with what they're looking for. So I love to really elevate and just showcase what's there.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I
I
love
think a
that.
lot of
And
times, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I just think a lot of times the when you're just randomly posting, your brand can kind of get lost and distorted just by random posts. And so another thing is to just really plan ahead and strategize. And so I work really closely with the owner to just determine what their goals are, what they really want to focus on, if it's recruitment or if it's a specific, service that they want to really highlight, then we'll create content based on that. So, if they're wanting to get more people in there for color services, then we'll post a lot more education about color services. If it's recruitment, then it's more about the salon culture and the team, really helping them to connect with that. So we strategize ahead of time. We have strategy meetings every month. And so that way I can really determine what it is that they want to do. And then I'm able to plan and execute for them.
Yeah. I love that you said that, Rebecca. I remember when the first time I met with you too, and you were talking about how important it is to have that strong presence on social media. And it got me thinking, as a salon coach and owner too, I'm like, oh gosh, I better check in on my own salon or my own presence on social media. And so I love that you just have this gift to give to the beauty industry. So would you say that you have ideal salons or clients that you're looking to work with, or what would be some trends or strategies also that you're seeing salons really thrive with when it comes to social media these days?
Yeah, to answer your first question, I mean, I love working with salons that really value, education, that really value team, culture. And I love working with salons that, that have that. I do work with a lot of top 200 salons, actually. I know you guys are both top 200. I love working with those. I love working with intercoiffure salons as well. Yeah, just ones that I would say really do value the experience for their guests, that value their team, and that really want to attract the right clients and the right team members.
Yeah.
Super cool. What do you think are some of the trends that you're seeing right now? You know, maybe even if it's not super trendy, what is just performing really well on social media? What are some insights that you have around that?
What really does better is when you post your team or yourself, or, obviously people do want to see the work that you're doing, but they really want to connect with you more than they do even the work that you do. And that's what I found is is gets the most response, gets the most engagement, and the most impression is when people are able to connect with you and get to know you and your team. And because, whether it's a potential team member or even a potential client, it's like they want to come sit in your chair because of you. Obviously, yes, you need to do good work as well, but they do, sit there for a long time. They open up to you. And so it's important that they know who they're about to sit in their chair. And so I find that those get the most impressions and the most engagement, really.
That's awesome. I remember, Rebecca, the first time that I met with you as well, I remember you sharing just kind of your thoughts around seeing the back of hair pictures.
Yeah.
And I know that that is, such a big thing inside of our industry. Can you share kind of what you shared, what your insights are on, seeing an Instagram full of the back of people's hair?
Yeah, I mean, it's not really connectable for a consumer, especially. I think that in our industry, hairdressers love seeing back of heads because they're just so pretty, and the way that they're able to lay the hair out is really beautiful. But for a consumer, it doesn't really show like how it's going to lay around the face, or bone structure and all of that. And so I feel like it's important that that you for the consumer especially, post more side or front images if your clients are okay with that. Most of the time they are, but obviously you have to ask them. If they're not, then even if you just try to get a side view, that's better than just the back of the head. So it definitely performs better too on social media.
Yeah,
That's
that's
awesome.
great. Thank you. And thank you for all those great insights as well. And you have a great story as well about how you got into this industry, because you're not naturally a service provider or salon owner by trade. So would you mind just sharing like what got you on this journey to the beauty industry? Because I think it's a really great story. And I
Yeah.
think it'd be great for people to hear.
Yeah. So I used to be a recruiter actually for 8 years. I worked in higher education. I would travel and recruit college students to go to grad school. And then I recruited junior college students to go to university. So I was working for Dallas Baptist and Regent University. So I come with that recruitment background. And then it was in 2013 that I started working with Vivian McKinder, and I was running her business in New York. And so I used to produce all of her fashion shows and photo shoots, and I sold all of her education and marketed her education online as well as her in-person experiences. So that was my background. When I moved to California, that was when I set up my own business, because I became an independent contractor, still working with her. But that was when it was time to set up my own. And that was in 2017. And so I started doing a lot of marketing for salon owners, as well as some coaching and social media management. And then and I also produced Backstage New York Fashion Week for 3 seasons and things like that, which I'm actually getting back involved with Fashion Week again, starting this September, and even able to bring a team with me in February to Milan and Paris Fashion Week. So that's exciting. But yeah, I that's kind of how I started my own business. And eventually I stopped working with Vivian in about 2018. but we're still, really connected. And I love the work that she does. And I think especially her face shape education to salons, it's amazing because she really helps them, learn how to do haircuts that are based on bone structure and face shape. And I have some videos on my social media actually where I interviewed her and she talks about that. But yeah, so her education is amazing. Just a little shout out if you're interested, in continuous learning, I would recommend Vivian McKinder for sure. But yeah, I worked with her and ran her business, and then eventually started my own business in 2017. So yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
awesome.
love
What
that story. Yeah.
Mhm. So cool. So tell us about that opportunity that you have coming up then working backstage during Paris and Milan Fashion Week. You said that you're going to have the opportunity to take a team with you. So what does that
Yeah.
kind of look like?
Yeah. So I'm actually partnering with a company that the lady is a professor in Florence and Italy. And she takes groups of college students and pre-college students to Europe for Paris and Milan during Fashion Week. She does an experience with them where they even have a learning, like a language class. They do a tour. There's this whole experience involved. And she recently opened it up to the beauty industry, and she's asked me to head that side of it up for the hair professionals. So it'll be a similar thing that she does with the college, that we'll get to take teams and groups of about 20 every season to be a part of Paris and Milan. And so they won't just work backstage for Fashion Week, but that's one of the perks that you get. But it will be, a language class, a tour. There's like so many fun things involved, and it's like a week-long experience. So I'm excited to, open that opportunity up to other hair professionals. And if people want to learn more about it, they can reach out to me. So yeah, kind of exciting.
Awesome. What's the best way
So-
for them to reach out to you, Rebecca? with that?
They can go to my website and we can set up a meeting. I have a meeting link there, but you can also email me at Rebecca, Rebekah, at stormsalonsocial.com.
Awesome. That's great. When you were talking earlier too about that your background originally started in recruiting, how would you say that translates? That's such a big buzzworthy topic inside of the salon and spa industry, the whole beauty industry. How has that translated into your work now with your previous work with recruiting? How do you help assist salons and make that an awesome experience for them now?
Well, through social media, and I kind of mentioned it before, but I would say for every salon that I work with, they have two target audiences, and it depends on which one they're really wanting to focus on more that particular season or that time. They may be great with like booking, and they're getting a ton of clients, but they may be lacking team members, and so it's either team that they're trying to attract or more clients. That's really who their target audience is. And so I would say that whatever that focus is, if they are needing to grow more team members, then we really focus on that. And so, yes, coming from my recruitment background, it is something that that I definitely think matters on social media. And there's a way to attract the right team members, and it's really about showcasing the culture that's there, your values, your team members, even having fun together, and that working together, all of that. So that would be part of the recruitment process. And so I feel like social media is huge for that. You can really, attract the right people to your salon through what you post. So
Very cool.
So not just posting like we're hiring. I mean, that's important, but
Mhm.
really just getting them to experience a little taste of what it would be like to work there and who works there. And so getting to know the team. And so I think that works hand in hand though, with attracting the right clients as well as attracting the right team members.
Yeah, that's
I love that.
huge. Hmm.
hmm Yeah, for a salon owner who looks at their social media, like what would you say would be like, what are the key metrics that would really help? Like, what key metrics do you need to look at to help you know if your social media is performing like it should, or where does it need a little extra support? So, is there any certain thing that stands out to you, certain numbers? Because when I look at it, sometimes I remember the first time I looked at it, I was like, this looks like a lot of French, and I know English. So, just would love to hear like what key metrics are really great for a salon owner to track.
They can track engagement and impressions. If you're talking about impressions, it's really about how many times your content is being showed to users online. And so it kind of is based on what the algorithm decides. If it's good content, then they'll show it to more users. And so that number is all dependent on what you're posting. And so you can look at that. And I would say that the more original content that you post, the better that the impressions are. Or, I'm sorry, yeah, the impressions, and then engagement happens to be the number of times you get likes or comments or shares or saves. That's what that is about. So I would say impressions and engagement is something to monitor.
And I think I remember you telling me that you have a special software that you monitor when you work with clients that helps you to really get a true
Yeah.
understanding of what's happening.
Yeah, so I'm able to put all of their social media platforms inside of a software, and it gives me the ability to know exactly what time to post on every single one of them. It analyzes their audience to determine when they're on the most. And so when we post, we may have, you know, the same content and it's going on multiple platforms. That's what I do with the clients that I work with. And so it'll always, we'll always know when to post Facebook and when to post Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or, all the different places. I also post on Google My Business. And the more you post on Google My Business, the more it can help you rank higher as well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I also help my clients get more reviews, and that also
Mm.
helps them rank higher. One of the salons that I work with, when I started working with them, they were like way low on Google My Business. It was hard to find them, and now they're at the very top, and their reviews have gone up from 4.3 to 4.9. So I
Wow.
think it was about 4.3 or something at the beginning, and now it's 4.9, and it's like at the very top. So having a lot of their team members just participate in getting their clients to review them, and as well as the more we post on there. And so I actually make QR codes for my clients that give them the ability to have that on every station, so that their team is willing to just remind the client that if they had a great experience, we'd appreciate feedback.
Yeah, that's incredible. I think there's just so many social media outlets, if you will, these days. And I love hearing that transformation story. Is there anything else that stands out, like any other stories that you've gotten to experience with a salon owner before, and
Yeah.
kind of what that transformation has looked like for them?
Well, that same salon actually also won Best of Colorado Springs gold. And so they actually, when they got the award, they called me and they were like, Rebecca, this is partly because of you, so that was really cool, just to have them, recognize that the work that we've done. And so many of my, another client, has a lot of people come to them because they are like, we saw you on social media. So, and saw what you're doing and the work that you're doing. And so I think that's also rewarding and cool whenever that happens, when people, have been stalking them on their social and just really before they come to, make an appointment. And that was one of my clients that specializes in extensions. So that's kind of cool. So she got some new extension clients from it. But I would say it's not, as much about like, we're not trying to sell as much as we are trying to just showcase what's really there. And, it's different than sales. I've been in sales a long time, and social media is a different thing than sales because
Mhm.
you're not able to, one, really measure the results all the time. I mean, sometimes you can find out like that somebody said they were stalking you and they now are coming to see you because of your social media. That happens sometimes, but the majority of the time is just about consistency and showing up, and you're not doing like sales pitches. You're really just educating, entertaining, engaging with your audience. And so it's different than straight sales, because I've been in sales for a long time, and it is a different beast. It takes time and it's a lot of patience, and you really just have to be in it for the long haul and not try to get immediate results, because you're doing a lot of experimenting. And also, trends come in and out and they change. So it's not like we can be like, this is what we're going to be doing the whole time. And so, you have to be willing to just evaluate how you've done so far, and then learn from it. And then, because that's really what marketing is about, experimenting and just, trying new things, and just being willing to put yourself out there, and then learn from it and grow.
That's awesome. So what would you say, what's like a key, like if there's one thing that a salon owner could communicate, via social media, what is one thing that stands out for you that you think is really important to communicate to their audience?
I mean, I think it's different. It's just really who you are,
Mhm.
letting people know who you are. You're not really competing with other salons because you're you. And so, it's not like you look at someone's social media and see the same things, because everybody has different team members, everybody has different culture and different value systems. And so I would just say, be you, be unique to what your goals are, what your brand is about. And that's the biggest thing that I really love to do is bring to light what's there. And so if, whatever their focus is, whatever is really there, just make it shine and make it stand out. And that makes you unique because there's only one of you. So yeah,
Mhm.
so it's not like it's a competition even to other salons in your area. You're all unique and different. And I think people and team members are going to come to you based on that, what they want to get out of it, and who they want to either work with or, have that experience. And so the more you can showcase you, the better.
That's
Love
awesome.
that. Yeah. I love that your background says better together. That really resonates with what you do, is connecting that consumer to that business. I think that really says a lot about who you are and what you create. So love that. And so for that
Thank you.
salon owner that's like, you know what, this sounds great and all, Rebecca, these are some great hot tips. But like, nobody's got time for this. Like, I just can't
That's where I
find
come
time to do
in.
social media. That's where you come in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how would you, like, what would be the best way to reach you, or how can someone get in touch with you?
Yeah, you can go to my website, stormsalonsocial.com, and set up a brand strategy meeting. It's like a 30-minute session that we have where I, can look over what you already have on your website and your brand, and just really give you that consultation, and then tell you a little bit about what it is like working with me and having me handle that for you. I think one of the things I found is really valuable is how, when I start with a client, I love coming out there to their space and their salon and spending like a few hours and just getting a ton of content. I do that. Really, I love to do that when I first get started, because then I can get like 90 days of content from a team, because it is hard for a salon a lot of times to gather content to send to me, and also they don't really know what to get. And so they can still send me content, and that's something that I love for them to do, but having that not be a burden is really what my goal is. And so that's why I love coming out to their space and getting to know their team and putting them on camera with, my video cam with I have a GoPro, and then I also have a nice Canon. And so I take high quality images as well as put them on a microphone and do different video segments. And so it's really amazing and helpful, and it's really valuable. So I would say that, that's how we get started. And so I come to you wherever you are, and my clients are all over the place. And so that's an important part of getting started.
That's amazing. Well, Rebecca, you really are transforming an area in a lot of salon owners' lives that's a really big pain for them, and making it an easy process. And you have a beautiful heart for our industry, and you can just see your passion not only on your website stormsalonsocial.com, but also just on the people the salons that you get to work with. And so, if you have taken something away from today's podcast with Rebecca, I know she would love to hear from you, love to meet you. I learned a lot, just even the short amount of time that we got to spend together, and of course again today. And it's just really exciting what you're doing for our industry, and we're grateful to know you and to be on this journey together.
Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, Jen. Me as well.
Awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to